everyone? I'm CL Conolly. I'm a horror author of 3 published titles: Friendly Misfortunes, which is a lone title by itself, and then I have the Affair series, Forbidden Affair, and Family Affair, which are published. I've got Fundamental Affair, which just finished, and I sent it off to my beta readers. Yay! Um, and then yesterday, I finished my first rough draft because I have 2 of them. So I finished my first rough draft of Fruitful Affair, and I will be starting my first round of edits, which is my paper edits. So I will be starting, sorry for noise. I will be starting my first round of edits next week. I'm going to try. I can probably start this week, but I know I've got a couple other things that I am doing. Because usually once I finish a book, before I start editing, I usually just put it aside. But since Fundamental Affair is with my beta readers, I figure I might as well start doing my paper edits on this one. I just need to get it printed out first. That's why I figured I could probably start next week. But I am outlining for my new series next year. My new series is Killer Suburbia. That's the name of the series. That's not. So the series is called Killer Suburbia. I just have to come up with book titles and stuff like that. And so I've got Killer Suburbia coming out, or that's going to be next year. So I'm outlining. I am doing an extensive outline because I want this to be, I want to be able to write each book in 3 months. But they won't start getting published until the end of next year, if that makes any sense. I'm going to start writing the first one in January, and it will not get published until late next year. And that's because I have Fundamental Affair and then Fruitful Affair that I'm going to get published at the, Fundamental Affair should be in January, and then Fruitful Affair should be sometime in April or May. And if I get it, that way, because then I've got my convention in February, and I've got the convention in June. So with my timeline that I have it set up as, I feel like I'll probably be able to publish it in probably like the third quarter, I think it's the end of the third quarter. I know I have, let me see if I can pull this up real quick while I'm on here. Let's see, I have, where does the first Killer Suburbia book 1? Okay, so Killer Suburbia series book 1 gets published in October, so it'll be the 4th. Yeah, it'll be the 4th quarter is what I'm looking at, because I think I have it set up specifically to where Fundamental Affair and Fruitful Affair are, the main focus, because I've got to get that series. Wow. I haven't had any coffee yet this morning. It's still really early. So my brain isn't actually functioning at this point. I'm trying though. Okay. So anyway, so next year, like in the beginning of the year, the Affair series is going to be my main focus, especially since I want to have a new book out for the Cult Classic Convention that's in February. And then I want to have another new book out for the Houston Horror Film Fest that's in June. And then even if I go to the Scary Dad's Haunted Halloween show again, I can, I'll still have the full Affair series. I told you I need coffee. I'll still have the full Affair series that'll be done. And I won't really have to, worry about all of that. And that's okay with me. I don't care. But I am outlining. So, you know what? It's underneath my computer. I'm going to show you my outlining notebook real quick. I hope I didn't screw anything up, though. No, I think I should be good. It's just leaning back now, but that's okay. So I've got my outlining notebook. And yesterday I was going in, so I have this. So this is the full like a description of the neighborhood that they live in. And this is for me. I may or may not have some of what I've got in here in the actual box. But after this, I've got section 1. So this is book 1. I have Killer Suburbia here, book 1, and I need a title for book 1. That'll come later. But I did write down, this says section 1, because in case you haven't seen any of my other videos, okay, I do it in sections, okay? So I've got section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, section 5. So I've got it set up in sections because the act 3, I feel like it's easier if I do like section 1, which is usually the smallest, and then I'll take act 2 and act 3 and split them into 2 sections. So I've got act 1, section 1, no big deal. And then I've got act 2, which is sections 2 and 3, and then I've got act 3, which is sections 4 and 5. And of course, it just seems, I guess it seems a little different. And I felt like this was the best way to tackle this. So instead of doing act 1, act 2, act 3, I'm doing 5 sections. And I know where each one of the sections is going to go. I know where each one. So anyway, so now I started with section 1. So I started writing. Now, this is just a rough outline. It's basically just a description of what's actually going to happen. There isn't any kind of actual action. There isn't any kind of dialogue or anything like that. It just basically is let's say it's an outsider perspective. And somebody is telling the story of these other people. Well, it's like, well, this one did this, and this one did this, and this one did this, and that's all I saw. That's basically what's right here. So it makes it easier for me. Now, what I'm trying to do is to get the most written down, because I feel like I need to start actually writing on my computer and not in a notebook, because I'm having a lot of problems with my hands and stuff like that. But I know I won't be able to do it. It's a weird thing. I know. I feel like I can't. But so what I want to do this week, since I just finished writing the handwritten version, so it was the rough draft, and I've got that rough draft, typed it into my computer, of Fruitful Affair. What I want to do now is, I think this week, I'm just going to give myself a break. I'm going to go ahead and outline some of this, so I've got it at least ready. Now, granted, I do have on my schedule where I don't have to outline this until December. But since I'm early with Fruitful Affair, I figured it'd be okay, because like it's only the 21st. That means I still have 10 days to the end of the month that I had to finish writing Fruitful Affair, which really kind of sucks, because that means that I was almost done writing it when I put it aside to start editing Fundamental Affair. And that means that I probably could have finished it months ago. I probably could have been doing paper edits this month while Fundamental Affair is with my beta readers, but that's okay. That's beside the point. I always think it's funny, though, when I'm having to tell my husband, I'm like, okay, you can watch whatever movie you want because I need to cut a bitch. I'm just talking about in my book. I've got to build up to the scene where I cut this person. I just gotta cut a bitch. So, anyway, he loves being able to watch whatever movie he wants to watch while I'm writing. Anyway, so that's what I'll be doing. I do have Fundamental Affair is still with the beta readers. So far, they've only read one chapter. Like, I've talked to two of my beta readers, and both of them have only read one chapter. I'm a little disappointed that it's going to take so much longer. I might have to let them know, hey, I need this in 10 days. One of them actually ended up reading Family Affair, which is the one that just got published. I was like, okay, so you read Family Affair, and then you're like, oh yeah, that was really good. And I'm like, okay, can you finish with Fundamental Affair? Because my beta readers all get books after it's published. And then she was like, I get to read it. Thank you. Can you please look over Fundamental Affair? The only reason why they reread it is because I change a lot of stuff. There's certain things that are not the same. When they see it in their version of, when they're giving me, all this is just filler content, this is boring, blah, 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 blah. When they're looking at that and stuff like that, the final product is always a little different than what they get. But I got 10 days, and I need to have it back from them so that I can work on it next month. And so what I had figured was I'm probably going to go ahead and do a final read through of the Fundamental Affair as well. I'm going to do one chapter at a time. So I feel like, Monday and Tuesday, because I generally do a lot, and especially since it's raining today. But Mondays and Tuesdays are usually like my busiest days. I'm talking about like housework wise. So Monday and Tuesday, I've got chapter 1 on Monday, chapter 2 on Tuesday, and then Wednesday is 3 through 5, and then Thursday is 6 through 10, and then Friday, I believe I've got something else scheduled on that day that has to deal with Fundamental Affair, which is, hey guys, do you have anything for me? I think we'll figure that out. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that I've got something that I can use from the beta readers by Friday, so I can at least start implementing those changes, because I need to get this done by the end of next month. I need to make sure it gets done, because that means that December I can, do all the extra stuff, filing for copyright and getting it ready to go so that I can have it ready by February. And most people think, oh, February is still far away. It's not when you're thinking of a book. When you're thinking of publishing a book, February is literally like right around the corner. It's almost here, and it's freaking me out. And then after that, I think about the fact that, I want to get Fruitful Affair published by June. Well, not by June, by May. It has to be done by May. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't have any time. 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 I know I do. I know I still have time. I know I can make it. The only problem is that I did have an issue with Family Affair and the beta readers with that. Now, of course, everybody knows that there's a publishing gap between books, because the last time I published a book was 2014, and then I published Family Affair this year. I had finished writing Family Affair in 2015, so I would have it published in 2016. But what ended up happening is that it was with the beta readers until 2017, because I didn't give them a timeline. That was totally my fault. So it was with the beta readers till 2017. So of course, by the time I got their changes back and started actually doing it, and then of course, I was stuck at work and everything was bad. And then we started moving, and then it just got worse. And then this year I decided, I was like, nope, this is it. This is the year. This is how this is gonna go. We're not gonna play anymore. So that's how that got done. Anywho, Fundamental Affair is with the beta readers. Fruitful Affair is ready for its paper edits. Other than that, I do not have any other books that I'm writing. Feels like a vacation. I also feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like, I'm thinking, I gotta be writing something. I've gotta be doing this. I gotta be doing that. Ooh, hello. So I'm thinking, I'm doing something wrong. Like I'm not working. You know, if I'm not writing, I'm not working. So that's why I started outlining. Because technically, I don't have to do anything for the rest of the month. I just have to wait for the beta readers to get me my, you know, my things. I can take the rest of the month off. But I feel like I need to be outlining or at least going through the manuscript with them, doing like a final read through with them while the beta readers are doing stuff. You know, I need to be doing stuff. I don't know. I always feel like if I'm not writing, then I'm not working and I'm not doing it right. And because I'm a writer and because I write from home, I feel like this is what I always. Now, if I was working, I'd be like, I got me a vacation now. I get to go to work, come home, and not write. But I'm not working. So I need to be doing something. And that includes writing all the time. Plus, not only that, but I love it. I love it. Maybe I just should. Nah. Anyway, so I will be continuing to outline. I will be continuing to outline some of the Killer Suburbia series because I'm hoping to have that come out every quarter, starting with the fourth quarter of 2020. So the fourth quarter of 2020, we'll have the first book come out, and the first quarter of 2021, we'll have the second one, and then the third, and then the fourth, and it's going to be every quarter. And in the process of that, I'm also writing a new series that'll come in, and I literally have a 5-year series set up. They're all 4 books long. It's kind of exciting. I'm actually looking forward to all of this. And yeah, I think I finally got it to where I know where this is going. Anywho. So that's it for me. All my books are available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and my website, clconolly.com. That's CLCONOLLY.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Twitter, not so much, because it's the mean kid of social media. Facebook, sometimes there's an algorithm that, kind of screws me over because of Facebook, And you'll see it sometimes, and sometimes you won't. And I'm generally on Instagram all the time. I will, excuse me. I'm generally on Instagram all the time. I'll take pictures of everything. I'll take pictures when this video starts uploading and be like, new video. So Instagram all the time. Facebook, the algorithm kind of screws me. So I only post there when, I feel like it. And then Twitter, I have nothing to say about Twitter. Twitter is a gossip rag. It's basically where everybody goes to be mean. So sometimes not. I generally don't tend to post a whole lot on Twitter because... Anyway, we'll see you next week. Bye!